Good evening, everyone. Call the City Council to order at 8 o'clock on Monday, May 4th. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Again, a few opening remarks before we get started this evening. This meeting will be conducted a little differently than our usual council meetings. We'll be implementing the governor's order that allows us to participate remotely. All councilors are present, and we'll conduct a roll call shortly to confirm their attendance. Councilors have been asked to review the agenda items before the meeting and contact the mayor or department head to obtain any answers to their questions prior to the meeting, so the meeting can be conducted efficiently. All votes will be via roll call. The mayor is available should he be needed to address any council questions. There are 17 items on this evening's agenda. I will now ask the city clerk to call the roll to confirm attendance.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner is present.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette is present.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas is present.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera is present.
Councilor Irish. Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish is present.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin is present.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landers is present.
Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram is present.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing is present.
Councilor Perlman.
Councilor Perlman is present.
And Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby is present.
11 present, sir.
All right, we have all 11 councilors in attendance for this evening's meeting. I will now ask the city clerk to read agenda item number 1.
Minutes of the City Council meeting, April 27th, 2020.
Mr. President,
Councilor Tenera.
accept and place on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file, and I will mention, councilors, that the clerk did revise page 11 to reflect the $100,000 transfer for the support for the virus activities. Other than that, they're all set. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landers votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Perlman.
Councilor Perlman votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
And Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to accept and place on file the amended minutes is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 2.
Communication from the mayor regarding a transfer request in the amount of $542,524, which moves funds from and to various accounts within the Department of Public Works budget to fund various projects, services, and contractual obligations.
Councilor
Mr.
Irish.
President.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. As it is stated, these are funds that have been moved from various accounts within the DPW's budget. And to get these projects to certainly move forward, I'm in support of a motion to approve the transfer.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the transfer of $542,524 for various projects within the DPW department. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Mr. President,
Councilor Oram.
just a quick question. The money is coming directly from other DPW funds. A lot of them are vacancies that people have left. We in the process of looking for new people to fill those vacancies in FY21?
You are, it's not people, well, some have retired, some of those positions are vacant. My understanding is I believe there is a hiring freeze on right now, but I would, if the mayor wants to, if the council wants to hear it from the mayor, they can, but all the accounts that money's being transferred from have available funds to cover the transfers. And again, it's all internal to the DPW department.
Yeah, Mr. President, under the circumstances, I agree. I didn't know if it was going to finance. Whoop, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You all set, Councilor Oram?
I thought the mayor was, I heard some echoing. I thought it was the mayor talking. I just want to make sure that I was going to ask this in committee, but I don't see an issue either sending it. Am I coming out clear enough? I hear echoing every time I talk.
Sound good?
Oh, okay, good. I just would have asked in committee. I don't want to tie up the meeting any longer than it has to be, but I think that's a sufficient answer for the time. We'll work on, I can always call to see what's going on with a few of these positions down the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Oram. Are there any other councilors that wish to discuss the item? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, and a vote is to approve the transfer.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landis votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
And Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to approve the transfer is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. It is approved. Agenda item number 3.
Communication from the mayor regarding a transfer request in the amount of $3,000, which moves funds from interest on ban to veterans benefits to fund Chapter 115 veteran benefits through the remainder of the fiscal year.
Mr. President,
Councilor Irish.
thank you. This certainly shows the support that the city gives to our veterans, and I make a motion to approve the transfer.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the transfer of $3,000 to fund the Veteran Services account. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Counselor Wagner votes yes.
Counselor Irish.
Counselor Irish votes yes.
Counselor Doucette.
Counselor Doucette votes yes.
Counselor Landers.
Counselor Landis votes yes.
Counselor Roby.
Counselor Roby votes yes.
And Counselor Oram.
Counselor Oram votes yes.
11 yeas.
The motion to approve the $3,000 transfer to the Veterans Services account is approved, 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 4.
Communication from the mayor regarding a transfer request in the amount of $2,100, which moves funds from reserve for salaries to fund the vacation and sick leave time owed to a part-time employee being laid off.
Mr. President,
Counselor Irish.
thank you. I want to say this is certainly something that the city does not take very lightly. With that said, motion to approve the transfer.
Motion made and seconded to approve the transfer of $2,100. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Counselor Dumas.
Counselor Dumas votes yes.
Counselor Roby.
Counselor Roby votes yes.
Counselor Irish.
Counselor Irish votes yes.
Counselor Navin.
Counselor Navin votes yes.
Counselor Pearlman.
Counselor Pearlman votes yes.
Counselor Tenera.
Counselor Tenera votes yes.
Counselor Landers.
Counselor Landis votes yes.
Counselor Wagner.
Counselor Wagner votes yes.
Counselor Ossing.
Counselor Ossing votes yes.
Counselor Doucette.
Counselor Doucette votes yes.
And Counselor Oram.
Counselor Oram votes yes.
11 yeas.
The motion to approve the $2,100 transfer is approved, 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 5.
Communication from the mayor regarding a grant acceptance in the amount of $6,573.13 from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Fire Services, which will be used to offset the cost of purchasing washer extractor equipment for cleaning fire department turnout gear.
Mr. President,
Counselor Irish.
thank you. Motion to approve, and thank you to Chief Breen and the Marlborough Fire Department.
Motion made and seconded to approve the grant of $6,573.13. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Counselor Pearlman.
Counselor Pearlman votes yes.
Counselor Tenera.
Counselor Tenera votes yes.
Counselor Irish.
Counselor Irish votes yes.
Counselor Roby.
Counselor Roby votes yes.
Counselor Dumas.
Counselor Dumas votes yes.
Counselor Doucette.
Counselor Doucette votes yes.
Counselor Wagner.
Counselor Wagner votes yes.
Counselor Oram.
Counselor Oram votes yes.
Counselor Landers.
Counselor Landis votes yes.
Counselor Navin.
Counselor Navin votes yes.
And Counselor Ossing.
Counselor Ossing votes yes.
11 yeas.
The motion to approve the grant for $6,573.13 is approved, 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 6.
Communication from the mayor regarding a grant acceptance in the amount of $3,840 from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Fire Services, which will be used for the purchase of replacement personal protective equipment for the fire department.
Mr. President,
Counselor Irish.
thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve.
Motion made and seconded to approve the grant for $3,840. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Counselor Roby.
Counselor Roby votes yes.
Counselor Ossing.
Counselor Ossing votes yes.
Counselor Landers.
Councilor Landis votes yes.
Counselor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Counselor Pearlman.
Counselor Pearlman votes yes.
Counselor Wagner.
Counselor Wagner votes yes.
Counselor Dumas.
Counselor Dumas votes yes.
Counselor Navin.
Counselor Navin votes yes.
Counselor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Counselor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
And Counselor Irish.
Counselor Irish votes yes.
11 yeas.
The motion to approve the grant for $3,840 is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 7.
Communication from the mayor regarding a gift acceptance in the amount of $5,000 from DuPont Electronics and Imaging for the fire department to purchase self-use fire escape devices.
Mr. President,
Counselor Irish.
thank you. Motion to approve. And thank you to DuPont Electronics and Imaging for supporting the Marlborough Fire Department.
Motion made and seconded to accept and approve the grant for $5,000 and thank DuPont for the generous donation. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the gift? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Counselor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Counselor Dumas.
Counselor Dumas votes yes.
Counselor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Counselor Irish.
Counselor Irish votes yes.
Counselor Navin.
Counselor Navin votes yes.
Counselor Landers.
Councilor Landis votes yes.
Counselor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Counselor Ossing.
Counselor Ossing votes yes.
Counselor Pearlman.
Counselor Pearlman votes yes.
Counselor Roby.
Counselor Roby votes yes.
And Counselor Wagner.
Counselor Wagner votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The vote or motion to approve the $5,000 gift is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed, and to thank DuPont. Agenda item number 8.
A communication from the mayor regarding a gift acceptance in the amount of $100 from Noreen Bucchino for the Police Department K-9 unit.
Mr. President,
Counselor Irish.
thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve and thank you to Noreen Pacino for the gift to the Marlborough Police Department K-9 unit.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the gift of $100 and to thank Ms. Bucchino for the generous donation to the K-9 unit. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the gift? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Counselor Dumas.
Counselor Dumas votes yes.
Counselor Wagner.
Counselor Wagner votes yes.
Counselor Navin.
Counselor Navin votes yes.
Counselor Landers.
Councilor Landis votes yes.
Counselor Irish.
Counselor Irish votes yes.
Counselor Roby.
Counselor Roby votes yes.
Counselor Pearlman.
Counselor Pearlman votes yes.
Counselor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Counselor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Counselor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
And Counselor Ossing.
Counselor Ossing votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
Motion to approve the gift of $100 for the K-9 unit is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 9.
Communication from the Planning Board regarding the unfavorable recommendation and comments on the proposed zoning ordinance amendment to Chapter 650, Sections 17 and 18, relative to livestock farms, order number 20-100-7915A.
Mr. President, this is Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby.
Move to accept and place on file.
Motion is made and seconded to accept and place on file the Planning Board recommendation. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Sorry. Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Oram. Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
And Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landers votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to accept and place on file the Planning Board recommendation is approved with 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 10.
An application for a special permit from attorney Brian Falk on behalf of WP Marlborough Mass Owner, LLC, to build a multi-family residential project in the business district to be known as Volaris Marlborough, consisting of 188 units in 4 buildings at 339 Boston Post Road East.
Mr. President, this is Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know that the City Council has received numerous emails from concerned citizens. This is a hot topic for now. What we're doing is referring to Urban Affairs, setting a public hearing for June 8th, and advertising.
Motion is made and seconded to refer to Urban Affairs, set a public hearing for June 8th, and to advertise. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Mr.
President
President,
Ossing, it's Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to express my respect to those who are actually stating their opinion to the council. A lot of them are in my ward. This property overlaps Ward 2 as well as Ward 1. I think there's some significant issues and obstacles that need to be addressed in this project to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Doucette. I believe there's someone else.
Mr. President, it's Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to echo the sentiments as well as my fellow councilors to just make sure that we do our due diligence and take our time with this process, considering that we are using remote meetings right now and we have a lot of interest in the project from the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Pearlman. Is there any other councilors that wish to speak?
This is Councilor Wagner. I would just echo the same sentiment and just want to share it to our constituents who have reached out and communicated that we will thoroughly follow the process here and really examine everything that needs to be examined and explored in this issue.
Thank you, Councilor Wagner. Any other
Mr. President.
Councilor Oram.
Thank you. And logistically, as we know, we've heard from many a constituent on this process, on this matter, actually, on this property. I would ask that, you know, on June 8th, hopefully we'll be back to the new norm. And if we are, well, we are in the new norm right now, but I want to make sure that anyone that would like to voice their concerns at the public hearing be allowed to. So, again, I don't know what that will look like on June 8th, but I think we'll wait till that time period to see. But again, if we have to, we can look at suspending it if, unfortunately, June 8th might not be the date. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying we'll have to have an open mind to when we set the public hearing.
Thank you, Councilwoman. You are correct. We have the ability to continue the public hearing based on the guidance that comes out from the governor's office and where we are in the economy. So, but right now, we'll set it for June 8th, and we'll see where we are on June 8th. Any other councils wish to speak? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll to refer to Urban Affairs, set a public hearing for June 8th, and to advertise.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landers votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
And Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to refer to Urban Affairs, set a public hearing for June 8th, and to advertise is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 11.
An application for renewal of a junk dealer, secondhand dealer license by TVI Inc., DBA Savers at 222A East Main Street.
Mr. President, Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landers.
Mr. President, I'm going to make a motion that we approve this application for the renewal of the junk dealer's license. We've dealt with Savers, since day one. They've followed their conditions that we put down very well. Also, they've been very good to the community, particularly the schools. And we did receive the query from Chief of Police, so Georgie. So my recommendation is, Mr. President, that we vote on this tonight.
Motion made and seconded to approve the junk dealer license for Savers. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landers votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
Excuse me. Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
And Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to approve the junk dealer license for Savers is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 12.
A petition from Eversource Energy to install 200 feet of 4-inch IP plastic gas main as a system improvement on Pleasant Street between Elm Street and Allen Court.
Mr. President.
Councilor Landers. Councilor Landers.
Mr. President, what I'd like to do is set a public hearing for May 18th. Also get a recommendation from the city engineer and perhaps even vote on it that night.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the engineering department. and to set a public hearing for May 18th. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Mr. President, I just want to add the point here. Part of the reason I picked the 18th, we already have Eversource coming that night, 2 other projects. So I think you're going to see the next item. I'm also going to mention that. That would get the 4 items for that night. So I would say we're ready to vote on this particular item.
Correct, but pending the recommendation from the engineering department.
That's correct.
So any other discussion on the motion to refer to engineering and set a public hearing for May 18th? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landers votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
And Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
11 yeas.
The motion to refer agenda item 12, which is 200 feet of 4-inch gas line on Pleasant Street, to the engineering department and set a public hearing for May 18th is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item number 13.
Petition from Eversource Energy to install 200 feet of 8-inch IP plastic gas main as a system improvement on Brimsmead Street from Short Street to 65 Brimsmead Street.
Mr. President, Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landers.
Again, Mr. President, I'm going to make the recommendation, this particular item, that we set a public hearing for May 18th. Also work in conjunction with the city engineer for his recommendation. And chances are, again, we will approve it. As I mentioned in the previous item, this would be the 4th item on the agenda on the 18th, but I believe they sent 1 representative, and I think he can handle all 4 of the projects. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Landers. The motion has been made and seconded to refer to the engineering department and set a public hearing for May 18th. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landers votes yes.
Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
And Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
A motion to approve the Eversource 200 feet on gas line on Brimsmead Street is approved to refer to engineering and set a public hearing for May 18th. 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item 14.
Communication from the Massachusetts State Lottery Commission regarding the keynote to go for Seasons Corner Market number 58 at 342 Boston Post Road East.
Mr. President, Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. We seem to be getting more and more of these letters for keynote to go sites within the city. I think it's becoming an issue for some of the places. I know last year we received received one, and we wound up sending back a letter to the Lottery Commission that we were not opposed to the Keno to go, but we were opposed to a future Keno monitor. I think it's appropriate to do the same thing for this particular site, and I would move that we have the president send out.
I'm sorry, Councilor Roby, you broke up on that last part.
I move that we have you send a letter to the Lottery Commission telling them we have no objection to the Keno to go, but do not want a monitor.
Yeah, so Councilor Roby, I reread the letter again, and the first paragraph explicitly states that they will not be getting a monitor to go. If you want to check that on me, so I mean, I can send a letter to tell them that if you'd like, if that's what you'd like to do, but the Lottery Commission already acknowledges that.
Mr. President, so with further research done by Ms. Bulley, a letter came to the council in January of last year. We sent a letter, then we received in June notification that the site was going to receive a monitor. So our concern might be that at this point, we're not giving Keno to go monitors. In the future, they may. So we want it on the record that we are not in support of that monitor.
Okay, so not specifically to this, you're talking just monitors in general. I'd say
well,
not restaurants.
I guess I would say that it would be for each site, because sites may be appropriate. It's a gas station designed to walk in and out quickly of a convenience store that's in it. It's not designed to have people stand around, play Keno, watch the monitor, and drink a beer, which they do in this place. I think the point is, Keno to go is you walk in, you buy a ticket, you walk out. A monitor means that you're hanging out.
No, agreed, but I just want to make sure the councilors are clear. The lottery's letter says this station is getting a Keno to go. They are not getting a monitor. But if you want a motion to have me send a letter to the State Lottery Commission, I will ask that you provide me some insights as to what you want the letter to say. I'm happy to write the letter, and Karen will help me. We'll draft a letter and we'll send it. So the motion is to send a letter to the Lottery Commission regarding the council's opinion on Keno to go. I mean, I think it'd be more that we would get more than just 21 days before they would approve it. I think that might be appropriate, but we'll work on that language. So to restate, the motion is for the council president to draft a letter to the Lottery Commission on Keno to go and the use of monitors in the city of Marlborough. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. President?
Councilor Orm.
Councilor Orm. So in this letter, are we planning to have this letter specific to this address, or, as you were questioning, restaurants also have it? So how was the author planning to address it? For all Keno to goes in convenience stores, restaurants? I'm just curious how.
Mr. President, I may respond.
Councilor Roby.
The letter is specific to a site, and we need to respond specific to a site.
Mr. President, that sounds perfect. First site, and that way it's addressed the site here at Brick 42 Post Road, Boston Post Road.
Is there any other discussion regarding the council president sending a letter to the Lottery Commission regarding Keno to go monitors at this site, 342 Boston Post Road? Hearing none, again, the motion is for the council president to send a letter to the Lottery Commission, and just so that we're all clear, the station will get a Keno to go. They are not getting a monitor. So the motion is to approve the council president sending a letter to the Lottery Commission. Clerk may read the roll.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Council Irish votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landis votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
And Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
11 yea.
The motion to have the president send a letter to the Lottery Commission is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item 15.
Communication from various residents listed regarding their opposition to the LED signs special permit for 431 Lincoln LLC, which is the Shell station at 431 Lincoln Street, order number 20-100-7948B.
Mr. President, this is Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to accept and place on file the communications.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the communications. Is there any other discussion?
Mr. President, it's Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also like to make note that it seems that people are complaining about the sound coming from the video there, which is against the city ordinance and needs to be explored.
I mean, we can call the building department to have them look at that if that's an issue. It doesn't have to be in order, but we can have the building department check that out.
That's fine.
Okay. Any other discussion on the motion to accept and place on file the communications? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landis votes yes.
Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Council Irish votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to accept and place on file the various communications is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Agenda item 16.
Minutes, boards, commissions, and committees.
Mr. President, it's Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to have the minutes of the commissions and committees be accepted and placed on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the various minutes from boards and commissions. Is there any discussion on the motion?
This is Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman.
I just want to note and thank our boards and commissions who have been meeting remotely and for carrying out the work of our city. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Pearlman. Is there any other discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
Councilor Pearlman. Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Pearlman votes yes.
Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landis votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councillor Ossing.
Councillor Ossing votes yes.
Councillor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
And Councillor Roby.
Councillor Roby votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to accept and place on file the minutes is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Before going to agenda item 17, just Councillor Roby, I've got some feedback that you're not coming out as clear as you would like, so I guess I'd ask you to speak clearly into the microphone, and I'll ask the other councilors to let me know if there's any issues with that going forward. Agenda item 17.
Reports of committees or no?
Oh, I'm sorry, any reports of committees? I gotta remember to write that down. Hearing no reports of committees, we'll go on to agenda item number 17.
Order number 20-100-7915A, proposed zoning amendment to Chapter 650, Sections 17 and 18, relative to livestock farms, and the recommendation of the Urban Affairs Committee is to approve the proposed amendment.
Mr. President, this is Councillor Roby.
Councillor Roby.
Thank you. I'm not sure why I'm having an issue with my microphone. I will try to speak clearly. Before we get to this order, I want to thank the numerous residents who emailed the council supporting the council's original order. I also want to discuss a letter from the planning board. Zoning amendments are required by Mass General Law 40A, Section 5, to go to the planning board for their recommendation. While the council prefers to receive a favorable recommendation, it does sometimes receive an unfavorable one. The vote of Urban Affairs was to recommend approving pending the planning board's recommendation. Once the recommendation is received, council files communication and may adopt, reject, or amend and adopt in such proposed ordinance or bylaw. The planning board did give an unfavorable recommendation. I thank them for the time they put into this and also for their suggested amendments, which I want to comment on. I sent an email with questions about the recommendations to Mr. Garside, Director of Public Health, Mr. Cook, the Building Commissioner, and Mr. Grossfield, the City Solicitor. When the Urban Affairs Committee met to take up this order, we discussed in detail the Board of Health regulations versus the council's role in zoning. No one had an issue with the proposed zoning for where chickens would be allowed or the number of chickens allowed. I personally do not agree with the planning board recommendation, number 1, to change the zone, or number 2, to change the numbers allowed, and am proposing no action. If other councilors do agree with the recommendation, they can make an amendment. Section 650-17 of the code is a table of uses. This table includes a column listing various types of uses, some noted with numbers by them. This zoning amendment deals with a specific part of zoning code, chapter 18, conditions for use. Its purpose is to define the use for each number in chapter 650-17. Recommendation number 3 deals with minimum lot size, adding in the size of the property to this amendment seems inappropriate, so I won't act on this. Mr. Garside confirmed that Board of Health regulations show that they are already the permitting authority. He stated that no permit would be issued until the applicant received the sign-off from the zoning office that it is in a permitted use in the district and it meets all setbacks. I don't believe we need to act on number 4. Mr. Garside has the planning board letter, and if he feels there needs to be amendments, he can make that recommendation. Mr. Cook confirmed that chicken coops fall under the accessory use rules in the code. For 1 and 2 family dwellings, if the coop is under 200 square feet, it would be exempt from the building permit. Otherwise, it would need to meet the requirements of the code. I don't believe any action is needed on number 6. Based on comments we have received from residents and my own personal opinion, I don't see the need to amend for chickens to be allowed for only single-family owner-occupied properties, as suggested in number 8. So that leaves comments. Number 5, prohibiting the sale of eggs, and number 7, keeping chickens in the front yard of property. After consulting with Mr. Cook and Mr. Grossfield, I will be proposing 2 amendments related to those planning board recommendations. Mr. Grossfield has stated it is his opinion that my proposed amendment is not sufficient to cause a new public hearing. Mr. Cook has offered specific language for chickens related to front of property. With all that said, I move to approve the recommendation of committee, which is to approve zoning change to chapter 650, section 18, with the following amendment, section 1B. Insert after the fourth sentence following: the selling of eggs is prohibited. No chicken coop shall be located between the street frontage and the primary structure front build line.
Thank you, Councilor Roby. So a motion is made and seconded to approve the ordinance for livestock with the amended version that adds the words, "The selling of eggs is prohibited. No chicken coop shall be located between the street frontage and the primary structure front building line." Is there any discussion on the motion?
Mr. President, this is Councilor Perlman.
Councilor Perlman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also want to express my support for this amendment and the proposed changes, and thank Councilor Roby for all of the diligence that she spent into this particular amendment, and specifically addressing the various planning board recommendations. I agree with her assessment that not allowing chickens in RB and RC zones and other lot size requirements would be too narrow and restrictive, and do support the no selling of eggs portion of the zoning amendment, as well as no chicken coop being located between the street frontage and the primary structure of the building. And I support the approval of this amendment tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Perlman. Is there any other discussion from the councilors?
Councilor Dumas would like to speak.
Councilor Dumas.
I appreciate Councilor Roby's efforts, but unfortunately, due to this platform, I did not hear everything that she was saying. There was a very bad echo. I think I missed every third and fourth word of what she had said. Moving forward, I think I know what she was talking about based upon what you had repeated, Council President Olsen, and I appreciate that. But just so we have it on record that this newer version from last week is very difficult to understand when someone trying to make their point across. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Dumas, and it is recognized that the system that we have set up tonight is a backup system, and we hope to have that corrected for the next meeting. But if anyone feels uncomfortable that they couldn't hear or understand what they're voting on, please let us know now.
Mr. President?
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera.
Yes, I feel the same way. Very juggled language. I appreciate Councilor Roby's efforts, but I just couldn't get all the information. So I'm with Councilor Dumas on this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Tenera. Any other councilors?
Mr. President, this is Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you. I know listening to the past two people speaking, I was also having trouble hearing. We do have a timeline. This must be approved by next meeting. This must be approved by May 18th. However, if people are uncomfortable, I move to postpone until our next meeting, at which time I hope we have this fixed.
So I understand you'll first withdraw your original motion, and you're making a motion to postpone until our May 18th meeting. And just so the councilors understand, with special well, for zoning ordinance, it's a zoning change. We have 90 days to act, or we have to redo the public hearing again. And our 90 days is up May 25th. So we will be within our time, the 90-day time frame, to vote on this on the May 18th meeting. So is that correct, Councilor Roby?
That is correct. And so I do withdraw and move to postpone discussion.
So the motion is to postpone the discussion on agenda item 17 until our May 18th meeting. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilor Landers. Councilor Landers. Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes. Thank you.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Perlman votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
And Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landis votes yes.
Thank you. 11 yeas, sir.
The motion to postpone agenda item 17 to the May 18th meeting is approved. 11 in favor, none opposed. Councilor Tenera.
Mr. President, motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Pearlman.
Councilor Perlman votes yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Councilor Doucette votes yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Councilor Wagner votes yes.
Councilor Landers.
Councilor Landis votes yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Councilor Ossing votes yes.
Councilor Irish.
Councilor Irish votes yes.
Councilor Roby.
Councilor Roby votes yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Councilor Dumas votes yes.
Councilor Oram.
Councilor Oram votes yes.
Councilor Navin.
Councilor Navin votes yes.
And Councilor Tenera.
Councilor Tenera votes yes.
11 yeas, sir.
The motion to adjourn is carried with 11 in favor, none opposed. We are adjourned at 9:05. Have a good evening, everyone.